Hey, it's Kurt Thompson here. I did get an email from somebody, actually a student of mine, former student, who said, well, when we play the trumpet, we don't blow into a straw, and the mouthpiece is not a straw. And I said, well, it's an exercise. And they posed a question, what would happen if you try to do it without a straw and use the compression from tongue arch? And I said, well, I don't know. So I've been kind of fooling around with this one, and it looks like, now I'm not going to spend all day trying to figure out how many quarters, but I did get up to 10. It's pretty tough. We're talking no straw, folks, no artificial way of compressing. I'm just using a very extreme tongue arch in my mouth and trying to hiss out the faster speed. The other thing I noticed, because of the lack of direction that you get with a straw, is that if you have to put some tape on the quarters on the top. Otherwise, what you'll do is you'll just blow off the top couple of quarters, and of course that doesn't mean anything, right? I mean, you need to move from the bottom. So I put a little bit of tape just kind of over, just like a little drape, just like a little drape. Make sure that it doesn't touch the surface, because I did that the first time, wasn't paying attention. Of course, when the tape droops over the coins and sticks on their surface, you can blow all day long. You're not going to move it because it's stuck. So anyway, the tape is kind of drooped or draped over the coins here, the stack, just enough so they don't blow apart, but the tape is not touching the surface. You got to be careful of that. It's very easy because the tape is transparent. So we're going to go ahead and give it just a blow. I'm going to be using extreme tongue arch. What's the opposite of tongue arch? Like you're kind of blowing out a candle, right? Like low C. Think ah, like you're going to the doctor. Ah, ache in your mouth. Jaw forward. Back. See here, so your jaw forward. Back. Forward. That's a real low C position, uncompressed. Happy birthday to you. You blow the candles. And so many of you, what is that, let's percentage wise, 90% of you or more are probably playing your horn like that. And the ones of the percentage of you that can actually play above high C that are playing uncompressed is just because you're using mouthpiece pressure and you have developed some chops, but you are using tongue arch. If you could just get the tongue arch down, and we work on that quite a lot in my upper register course, the 16-week course. So you just saw just uncompressed air is this. Ooh, you see that? I got a little bit of movement there. I got lucky. Wow. I just must be full of hot air, folks. Okay, so I moved, wow, I'm just not even believing that. I moved 10 quarters with uncompressed air. And you can see where they almost started to kind of slide off. I don't know if you can see that. So let me pause this. I'm going to put 2 more quarters. Now, I don't know if you got my exclamation there, but that took me by surprise. I mean, I wasn't expecting. I've already been fooling around with this using tongue arch compressed air, and I tried to do the uncompressed air like you're blowing out a candle. It wasn't moving, and I don't know what happened there. So that was not compressed air. Maybe it was just a large quantity of air and there had a little bit of speed on it, but it was not compressed, yet I was still able to move that. Now I'm kind of at a loss for words there. I guess I'm just full of hot air. So which, when you play a brass instrument, that's actually not a bad characteristic trait of somebody, if you're full of hot air but you play a brass instrument. So let me pause this. I'm going to have to take the tape off. I guess I can show you now how I have it. So the tape was just on the sides. You could probably see that. See? I'm just going to pull off the tape. It's just like that. That's just to keep the quarters from blowing apart. If you don't use a straw, you will blow the quarters apart. So let me, oh, what the hell. We'll try to see if we can leave this damn thing uncut again. It didn't work out on the last one. I mean, most of what I did was uncut, but I believe that is 10. Let's just get 2 more and see what happens. I'll put the tape on there. I did, by the way, I left an update a status update yesterday that I messed around with this with a straw, and yeah, I got my straw here. Where is it? Same straw that you saw me in the other video. And I messed around. I did get 21, so I'm going to probably hang out at 21 for a while. I mean, you got to be careful. You could throw your neck out on this one. I mean, when I'm going for it 110%, and so I'm blowing a lot of extreme energy in compressed air. So let's just make sure this is correct. But this should be okay. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we figured out in my other video that quarters weigh 5.97, so 5.7, I forgot what it is. It's just shy under 6 grams each. So we can round it up to 6. So 6 grams times 12 would be 72. Let's just take off 2 for, you know, the fact that it wasn't an even 6 grams. So that's about 70 grams right there, people. And well, now it's not 70 grams anymore, is it? Okay, that's my lucky quarter. So 70 grams, give or take. It's pretty close to 70. And okay, now we got to put the tape on, because when you're not doing the straw, the air is a little bit more wily. And this will help it, you able to blow. It's also kind of cool just to watch the whole stack. Let's see, that's probably going to be too much, isn't it? Let's see, let me roll it back just a little bit. It's probably going to do it. Let's see. I hope you guys are trying this at home. These are, as I explained in the video the other day with my coin blowing experiment, these are techniques that don't require you to have a lot of money and a fancy horn and a fancy mouthpiece. Yet they are techniques that will surely raise your level of musicianship and your physical prowess and ability on any brass instrument. I'd really like to hear from some low brass people like bass, bow, and tuba. Maybe even the larger bore euphonium players. I mean, if you worked on this, I would just think that your life would have to be a whole hell of a lot easier. I mean, if you really developed your air power. I know that you guys aren't crazy about going for high notes, but in reverse, going for low notes, you have to compress the air at some point so you're able to sustain you know, long passages. You can't just play uncompressed, so I'm sure there's some way that you guys are compressing air, and this probably help out with it. I got 12 quarters, that's almost 70 grams. Let's see if I can just blow it with the tongue arch. Tongue arch means I'm going to take the tip of my tongue here. I'm going to put it, and I'm going to anchor it, fixate it, right below the cutting edge of my teeth here. Almost at the, I don't know if you can see. Okay. So it's that where your teeth kind of start to meet the gum line on the inside. Right there, can you see that? Tip. Now let's let it slide down. Yeah. Tongue raises up. Okay, flat. Arched. Ah, ye. Ah, e. Ah, e. Look at all the space in my mouth when I go ah. 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 Now, are you getting this? Or for people who can use their brains and use logic, are you understanding that I'm significantly reducing the amount of space available in my mouth? The air has to travel up and over the tongue and come out, and we're really compressing air. This is not theory. This is physiological. We're really manipulating the space in our mouth. And if you guys would only just get that, but you do have to practice on several kind of multifaceted directional exercises to allow you to develop that feel. It's just like, you tell a little kid, just all you got to do is just, hold these handlebars like that, keep it steady, and pedal, and you'll be good. But of course, they fall over and crash because they just don't have the feel. And 90% of you guys don't have the feel for tongue arch. And of the 90%, I think there's probably 10 or 20 of you that swear, 10 or 20% of you that swear on a stack of Bibles you are doing tongue arch, but you're not. Easy to tell, at least for me. I've heard so many people over my life that can't do it, and a couple that can. The difference is in the stiffness and brittleness and disjunctness of the tone and your ability to flow smoothly across registers, scales, and arpeggios. There's just a smoother, more fluid, I wish I could think of some other adjectives right now. Connected, fluid, smooth, almost liquid flow of tone when you're using the tongue arch. Especially, it becomes conspicuous and noticeable above the staff. It's not so readily apparent when you're, approaching the staff, and that's another topic for another video. But I start to kick in my tongue arch in light mode, like unleaded mode, around E, right near the top of the staff, F and G. I'm in kind of a light lowered version of my tongue arch. And then as I just approach high C, of course, it gets into full tongue arch mode. And then as I go up to the end of upper register around double G and come out of upper register, we start going into a more extreme tongue arch mode. That's where you have to build the strength in your muscle power to hold your tongue up. We've got a lot of pressure inside our body that's coming out, and it's a heavy weight on your tongue. If you haven't worked exercises to develop your tongue and tongue arch, your tongue will not be able to withstand that arch, and it'll just drop just a second, or just a fraction. If it drops just a fraction, you might have lost a third or a fourth right there. Boom. Okay, let's give this a whirl. Tongue arch. And I might have to do it a couple times just to get the placement of the air, because it doesn't come straight out like when you're blowing the candle. Here we go. Okay, not quite. Oh wait, I think I moved the top stack a little bit. Let's try it again. Did I move it? I think I did move it. So when I really went to an extreme tongue arch and spread my lips out, I felt that it moved. I have to go back and look at it because I wasn't really focusing on the coins. Let me try it one more time. I'm bent over. Let me straighten up, do a diaphragmatic breath, and then do a little Bud Brisbois wedge breath on top of it and see if that'll make a difference. Boom. All of it moved. Okay. Did you get that? Yeah, we're having fun. It's Trumpet Sizzle fun, baby. Trumpet Sizzle fun. I have all kinds of fun doing this stuff, and I guess one of the things I mentioned that, a lot of trumpet playing is not talent. It is stuff like this. Working coordination, strength, flexibility, and synchronizing your air, and a bunch of other stuff that you could take any person off the street, whether they're a doctor, an office worker, a blue collar pipe fitter somewhere, or if they're out there picking strawberries and watermelon. I don't care who it is. This doesn't require high IQ, and it doesn't require degrees, and it doesn't require musical talent. And quite a bit of the stuff is in my 16-week course. It does require somebody, a coach to guide you through this and let you know when you're doing too much of it and when you're not doing enough, things like that. And the thing about it is, it's not the same for everybody. If I tell you to do it for a couple of minutes a day, I might have to tell somebody else to do it for every other day, and another person to do it 3 minutes a day. So that's where people like me come into play. We could throw you all these techniques. It doesn't mean that you're going to get a lot out of it. You have to have someone that's been there that's guiding you. So you saw me move at least twice, 70 grams with just my tongue arch, and then surprisingly and accidentally, I got 10. So 10 would be, you know, what, 55 or 60 grams uncompressed air. You know, you saw that kind of shocked me and surprised me. So I'm Kurt Thompson. I hope that you try some of this stuff. Why not? It's free. And are you going to become worse by trying this, or are you going to become better? Or are you going to stay the same? Number one, you're not going to stay the same. You're not going to get worse. You're only going to get better. If you want to stay the same, then don't do that, right? When you add something like this, a force on your body, no matter what part of your body, and you add it and you do it regularly, you're not going to stay the same. If you want to stay the same, just don't do this. Or don't add anything. Don't add anything that extra for what you've already been doing before today. You will stay the same. So when you add this, now let's weed out that. You either can get worse or better. You're going to get better. You're not going to get worse by improving your breathing, your breath control, your lung power, and your ability to compress air. I'm Kurt Thompson, and I hope that you enjoyed my shirt. See that? TrumpetSizzle.com. I've had a couple of people ask me about this. You know what? This is a good quality shirt. I don't know if you saw that I actually got these in 2017. And look at this. It's a higher quality shirt. Well, I probably would sell them for around 25 bucks. I could get cheaper shirts than this and sell them to you guys for cheaper, you know, like 18 or whatever. But they're going to fade and not look that good. But look at 2 years. The color's still vibrant. The shirt's a great shirt. And you've seen I got the white one and the blue one. So anyway, I might end up putting these on my store, on my new website. And for folks who want one like this, and then for people that want something different on their shirt, I could probably have that made up for you too. So I'm Kurt Thompson. I hope you enjoyed another thrilling, titillating, trumpet sizzle-licious video. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.